Is there a predatory bug for those cannabis aphids, or is it just the surfactants that you think are?
You have to choose, like you have to use it. In fact, I would say a combination in your pitchfork approach. In fact, a pitchfork approach would be to use as many beneficial BCAs, biological control agents together that are compatible to fight these nasty pests, you know, the ones that are really tough, like the cannabis aphid, because usually aphids, all the other species of aphids that attack cannabis will have 4 babies a day when the aphid is adult, but the cannabis aphid, don't say cannabis doesn't make you productive. They can produce 6 babies a day. So it goes even faster with cannabis aphid. And as hotter it gets, the more and also the influence by the photo period of the 12-hour photo period, they think it is fall. So they produce eggs. We haven't been able to find, there's not been enough research yet done for many reasons to see if these eggs could be able to hatch, or they need a cold period, you know. If they need a freezing period, like a winter or something, to be able to hatch. Because we haven't seen that kind of cycle happen. But just one aphid is enough to restart everything, because usually they will just reproduce asexually. So meaning the mama is giving birth to babies that are pregnant, of babies that are pregnant. So they just continue on that way. And usually in nature, like during the fall, there will be some male individual that will appear, and there'll be a sexual reproduction, meaning that then they'll lay eggs. But and they also produce flyers all the time, so you have to watch the flyers. Flyers happen when the colony is getting too big. They have a stress, sprays, the photoperiod change, some things we don't explain yet that makes them build, like have winged individuals that will fly off and try to find colonies elsewhere.
So if you had an outdoor crop last year and you had a cannabis aphid infestation, what can you be doing now to try to prevent getting it as bad this year?
You start by planting your islands of biodiversity, meaning you want a lot of sunflower, marigold, alyssum, lots of alyssum, things like that. Things are going to benefit the predators. They're going to furnish them a lot of food and fuel, nectar and all that, pollen. And so you start by that. And also you would introduce the aphid predator image. The aphid predator image, less is more, meaning you don't have to overpopulate your area. They're native from Canada. So it's very smart proof. It's a max vial, we call it. It's like a big pill bottle. Inside there's some substrate, some pupa of Aphidoletes affidimisa, the aphid predator image. And this midge is very special. It's a big midge. And it also loves to stand on spider webs. It doesn't stick in them. Just as an observation, some point, and it will go and lay eggs next to the aphid colonies. And it's its larvae, it's bright orange, that will eat aphids like crazy. And they're very furtive, and they like to hide under aphids, and they like to work at night, at sundown. So when you scout them, you have to move the aphids to see that. If they're established, they're under the aphids, but meaning it will be very easy. You just need 250 an acre, and it's about 20-something bucks, and you release them a couple of weeks, maybe I would say 3-4 weeks to be sure that your population is established in your area, and that way you should be able to manage your aphids.
Would you start like May 1st or?
Depending on where you are.
Yeah.
In BC, West Coast, I would start as early as possible.
Okay.
And in Canada, and I mean on the East Coast for us, and it's even from region to region, from north to south, it's different. But I mean, you try to follow but you dig in some information from your area, or you remember your history when they appeared the year before. But also I would release them as soon as possible in the spring when it's warm enough. So make sure, because you always make sure that when you introduce, you're not introducing too late. It's not bad to introduce too early, like, because you don't want to miss it. Like us, like in garlic, we have the swin midge and things like that in garlic and leeks. And if you don't introduce too early, then and it tends to be earlier every year because of all we know, climate change or global warming, things like that. Don't introduce, you might miss it. It's too late. It turned into a larvae. And now the trichogramma that we released to go parasitize the eggs cannot get the egg. They're already hatched. So you're done. It's too late. The same thing with the corn borer in the cannabis outside. When we release the trichogramma, so we rear 4 species of trichogramma wasps. They're very tiny. They're like a point on I don't know. They're like one of the numbers there. I know it's like one, and it's very, very small. And 4,000 pupa, like in the size of $1. You know. And we used to glue them on cards. Now we have a new release method. It's a little biodegradable cellulose capsules that we either disperse by hand in the field, or we load a drone. You know, we send a drone that drops a capsule every 100 square meter or 1,000 square feet for our American listener. And these wasps, they emerge, and their only goal in life is to find eggs of caterpillars to go and parasitize. And we got specific species that will parasitize either the borers or this type of caterpillar. So we're even better than BTK, because BTK, you have to wait for the right time to spray, and it's non-discriminate. It kills every Lepidoptera, whatever, butterfly. Us, we target the one we want with the trichogramma, you know. So we get with the trichogramma austrinia, we get the corn borer. With the trichogramma brassica, we get the corn earworm and other types of and we even have trichogrammas against the flower moth, and also the ones clothing moths that so the ones that attack grain or clothing and animal fiber clothing. So we have little kits for the house. Instead of putting chemicals in your house, you just release them. You don't even see them, so you're not bothered.